Hello, 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 everybody. Jesus Christ, level 5 hype train already came and went. That was absolutely amazing. That was, wow. Yeah, that was...
I think
That's not
Chat
real.
has the better idea of knowing when we leveled up last.
Oh, yeah, that's a really good question, actually. Chat, do you know how long ago they leveled up? Not in, like, IRL time, but, like, sessions? Because I thought it was about 5 sessions ago. But Tyler thinks it was 5 sessions ago. Messi started talking about it, but it was actually several sessions prior to that. I honestly don't remember. They're not leveling right now, by the way. We have things we got to get done, right? But,
yeah, there.
Oh, hey,
it was. Messi basically talked you out of leveling us up. I think, either right before or right after the gurgling mouthers, is what I think was.
That was a while ago.
They're level 8, I believe. They're level 8.
Correct. But Yondis is level 9.
Correct. Mm-hmm. He's also older. Like, a lot more years passed for him than have for you guys. And when I say a lot, I mean, like, a lot.
Right, because he was in the temple.
Elijah's still level 7.
Let's see. What level are they? Elijah's 7? Yeah, I think you just were too lazy to level up Elijah. I think that's all it was.
I think it was close to when we were going to retire Elijah, so I didn't bother doing it. That's why I thought it was about 5 ago.
Rena, Winifred's Wisdom.
We haven't even started.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, it's supposed to be a big combat. He wants to make sure that Rena doesn't die.
Oh,
Well,
man.
if we can even make it to the combat part of it.
Rena, I have to say that when you do the pink eyeshadow with those glasses, it's like an awesome combo. It's like
Thank you.
It's subtle. It's noticeable.
Well, I turned the camera on and I was like, this needs glasses, but also so I can see.
Scott, can you tell me the graveyard story?
No, I don't want to hear it again.
No, remember we're ultra mega focused regicide today.
Ultra mega
Are we?
focus, I'd say.
Somebody told me.
Brittany,
Oh, this
Can
is the memo.
you-
Scott, can you just talk
My
for
arm hurts.
like a minute?
wait, can you do
I'm
me,
sorry.
do me a favor? Can you actually? Oh, thank you. You knew my feet were cold. Could you grab me my phone? No rush. Just whenever you get.
Also,
I need
Messi,
to- I need to
the
send the text to.
the dark mode on Roll20 like broke, or it
Was
changed
there an update?
probably
What
because
do you
now I can't like read anything unless I highlight over. Yeah, like it's all blacked out and then it changes red when I highlight it. You know what I'm saying?
mean? Yeah, they changed it. I'll fix it.
Okay, thank you.
Also, if you click on stylus, you can just turn that off if you need to.
I like the dark mode.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Can you talk for a little bit?
Yeah, I'll give you 1 minute of me chattering so you can listen to whatever it is that you're doing, and then we're going to go, Messi. So let's be clear about what happened last session. Last session was kind of Green's favorite session that ever happened with Regicide. Green's favorite session with Regicide was at one point in time when a whole bunch of innocent townsfolk were locked into a barn and it was set on fire and they were burnt to the ground for no reason.
That was a
That
great
was
episode.
Green's, but justice for Green, justice for Norway is here, okay? Don't worry, Todd, we got you too. Last session was Green's favorite episode. It was his favorite episode. You know why? Because nothing happened. Well, that's not true. We had like 5 minutes of role playing and whatnot. But this session, we have enough progress happening that in theory, there's supposed to be a combat this session. As a reminder, last session had Messi's character informing people of where to go and about details and blah, blah, blah. Rena and Tyler had their characters. Heading down and speaking to a couple of the leadership that was down there. I'm doing a recap for those that wanted to skip last session because it was nonsensical. They went downstairs and talked to some of the leadership in the military and realized that a Master of War was down there. The Master of War that most likely serves directly to the what's his name there? You have in here. Wow, that smells like. It smells like rotting feet. All right, laddie. Lassie, it's going to be so good, Lassie.
Okay, man.
Oh, well, no, not Jamaican.
What the hell?
It's
Hey, not Jamaican.
it's corned beef and cabbage that her mother made. Well, she does a really good job with it too. It's always stinky. All right,
Careful, dude. Careful.
so anyways, back to the game. So you guys went down there and realized the Master of War that most likely serves the Yavin here, or the Prince of Yovincia, the province that you're in, the person that you guys are literally hunting down because his name is Havens Kringal, is here. If it's not that Master of War, then it's the Master of War that would serve the local Tarumbar, the ruler above the prince. But you believe it's that Master of War. You guys were like, we should probably get out of here. And so you chose to leave. And running away, you guys were able to escape through your own routes, however you chose to do so. But curiosity, through something that Ophios caught Ophios and kind of reeled him back in. From the alleyway that he was able to sneak into, he chose to look back into a window of a room that he heard people talking about, specifically him and Rena. And in looking in to see what's going on there, he realized the person noticed him and looked back. And so there was a chase scene where they ran through the streets of, what city are you in?
There was no chase. You didn't say anybody was chasing us.
You guys thought you were being chased because you sprinted as fast as you could to get away. Whether or not there actually was a chase, you don't know. Anyway, so you guys ran all the way to outside of, correct me if I'm wrong, not his office, but the office where all of the diplomats are, correct?
I guess. I honestly don't know.
Rena, correct
All
me
I
if I'm
know is
wrong?
we had to get past some sort of royal guard.
I think that's right.
No, if there's royal guard, then that means you're outside of his
Because he's having the meeting here later, right? At this,
that would be their offices, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Then yes.
And then you guys were more or less hiding behind. Both of you were equally hiding behind a shrubbery that was way too small to hide either of you, while pointing at them and saying, "Let's go to them." And Ophios physically changing shape immediately in front of those guards to be like, "I'm your leader. I'm the Master of War." But that didn't actually happen. That was retcon to, guys, what are you doing? Being silly? By guys, I mean me. And Tyler, please remind me, the person that you actually chose to look like, as you guys are kind of like walking up to the area where you can see that doorway, obviously like an alleyway or something like that, and you change shape into. The person that you chose to look like, and you said something to Rena along the lines of, this may like inspire some memories or whatever it is, or trigger some memories. You turn to look like the warden.
This may traumatize you.
May traumatize you. You use your ability to make yourself look like the warden of
Roll for
the
PTSD.
gate.
of the gate, which is the person that literally tortured you and Rena for a period of time. And Rena, we said at the very end of last session, we're going to start this session with your reaction to that. So I'm going to give you a moment to contemplate that, in case you weren't emotionally prepared for it.
I'm
Yondis,
too happy. I'm just kidding. I can get sad. Don't worry.
go see your husband for a second. He's disappointing enough to make you sad. So
Whoa,
I'm just kidding, Todd.
Wow,
I'm just kidding,
you're really trying
Todd.
to start a fight over
I'm
here.
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I just want to say, Cryptic, I am sorry you have to put up with Scott.
It's a package deal. Like we love Rena so much, we have to bring Cryptic into it. At one point in time, he's
no.
I'm now. Oh, that's funny.
I
Maybe
don't understand. Well, never going to mass now. I don't get it.
like
He
I'm
meant
never.
we're. Oh well, yeah.
Or we're one of those.
He's typo. He's typing too fast.
So back to Yondis. What you were doing? Oh, I see. Rena's drinking to get on the sad emotions. That's good. Dark liquor too. Good job. Yondis, back to you. What you had done last session again was you kind of creeped around, sent in the message to the to nobles to make sure that they understood what was like all the information and whatnot to get that kind of like set up and triggered, et cetera, et cetera. But you also were disguising yourself while you were maintaining your same disguise to get yourself into the location where the meeting would be transpiring, so you could try to get yourself close to the Kringal, to the Goblin here, to make sure that you are prepared to attack him, to get that drop on him with your abilities. Am I missing any other important details of what you had done last session?
I talked to Flint and told him that I was gonna
Make
give him a signal.
a signal, yeah. And he was like, "What signal?" And you were more or less like, "You'll know."
No. yes, but then I told him, don't get anyone killed. And he got really sad, but he understood what I was saying.
Yeah, well, he didn't want to necessarily harm. You don't necessarily want to harm people that are innocent in this endeavor, in this whole situation. All right, cool. I also want to say that Oklo didn't just give Rena a Winifred's Wisdom, gave one to each Yondis and Ophios as well. So all you guys are walking into this with a Winifred's Wisdom. Man,
Cool. Can I use that Winifred's Wisdom to retcon my ability to not be seen?
I don't know what you rolled to be. What?
Rena,
Make
send
it
us on
so
the Discord.
that he never saw me outside his window. I'm using my
Oh,
wisdom.
no.
word
I'm
wisdom
downloading
to
it
wipe
now.
his
Thank
brain.
you.
No, that is not. That's not happening.
I have called upon the gourd of Winifred, to suck the brain intelligence out of this man of war.
Bro, you good?
I'm tired, dude.
I woke up at 2:30 a.m. to do a Patreon session before I went to work all day. I got coffee next to me. You don't drink coffee, do you?
Caffeine is too much for me.
That makes
It
sense.
overwhelms me.
Caffeine's the devil.
Have chocolate, smaller amounts of caffeine.
I still get caffeine withdrawals that absolutely debilitate me.
After chocolate? Really?
Yeah.
All right, so let us kind of pull that back over to you, Rena. Rena, you and Ophios are standing in the alleyway nearby where the building is. Like, you could see it. You saw the guards. You kind of step back into the alleyway. You didn't get noticed this time by these guards, and he transforms to look as the warden. Now, obviously, you guys aren't going to step out of this alleyway. You're going to kind of go around and walk up the proper way, dressed as the warden, right? And Rena, you're already dressed as a Paradel officer. You know, you get the armor and all that other stuff. He literally just transformed to look like the person that tortured you. I really wish I could remember the warden's name. I honestly don't want to have to look it up. Anno, if you're here, which I think you are, could you just remind me real quick? That'd be wonderful. And Rena, we'll pull it to you at this point.
So I imagine she's like looking, he transforms and she turns around and sees him. She turns around and faces away from him for a second. As soon as he transforms and like doesn't say anything. I see what you meant. What? I mean, I guess that'll work, but she looks again and like we'll see him. I might need a couple reminders.
Might need a couple of what?
Reminders
Reminders about
That
what?
it's actually you.
that it's you.
He'll speak in his native tongue and say, "What do you mean?"
I mean, that just. Sorry, it was a little jarring. So, what's your idea here? Are we going just together?
That I use this as a disguise to get past these guards.
And if they ask you why you're here?
Say they have no right to ask that because I am this man. I need the name of this
His
guy.
name, yeah.
It says it inside Roll20 chat for you, Tyler.
I don't look at that chat.
Roll20 chat? That's where dice
Please.
rolls are.
Don't look at that,
In a
Jen.
proper forum. by-
Numerian?
Yep, Numerian Janissy. So it'd be Warden Janissy.
Warden Janissy. If I remember right, he was a cocky, arrogant son of a gun.
Yeah, I mean, this will definitely work. But I'd be lying if I said it didn't catch me off guard. Like I said, I might need a couple reminders. Regardless, if you're ready, she'll motion towards the building.
Yes. Keep your head down. I'll just simply say you are my bodyguards.
No.
Mm,
She's a commander.
No?
I'm a commander.
Oh,
Yeah.
Just work. I'm just
She's
fellow coworker, essentially.
No, she's an LC, a lieutenant commander, and I'm pretty sure he's a battle commander. As a reminder, when you're looking at the officers, I mean, I'll list them all real quick. It's only the last few that matters to you guys, but I'll list them all real quick to chat. The lowest rank officer to the highest rank officer, it goes a tactician recruit, and then it's lieutenant tactician, battle tactician, then lieutenant centurion, battle centurion, centurion of war. Then it goes lieutenant commander. That's what Cadus was, whatever, and what Rena is pretending to be right now. Then battle commander. That's what rank you're pretending to be at the moment. Then there's field commander. That's actually what rank that Haven Jovance. So nope. Sorry, Leon Jaeger was. That's like a really, really, really high rank. And then there's high commander. That's like what Barbara Barnes is. That's somebody who actually like runs one of the 3 city-states at a province. So you're actually pretending to be 2 ranks beneath Barbara Barnes. So a very, very high rank. And Rena's pretending to be the same rank as Cadus. So just 1 rank beneath you. So she would just be your lieutenant. Lieutenants act as one of 2 things. They can run their own little squads or battalions or whatever they may be in times of war. Or they act as the lieutenant or like the paperwork second in command sort of a thing. Like you're second, right? Like Riker to Picard, right? That's your Riker.
Okay, fine. I'll use that as my cover then.
What was Riker's line? Was it... No, Picard was, make it so.
I will be back.
No, that's Arnold.
Oh, what was Riker?
And it's I'll be back.
I'll be back. No, what was Riker's... He had like a line. Picard
He
is
said,
always,
"Hey guys,
"Make it
I'll be
so."
right back."
I
can't remember what it was. But Riker was a horny boy. He was a horny boy, all right. All right, so anyways, wait, you guys watched Next Generation, right? The 3 of you?
Probably, but it's been a long time since I've seen it.
Rena? Messi? Okay, listen. I'm not saying you have to go back and watch Next Generation because it's hard to watch the whole series without season 1. And the first 1.5 seasons are absolute gutter, trash, terrible. The first 1.5 seasons of Next Generation is some of the worst 90s television you could watch. However, starting about halfway through the 2nd season, maybe beginning of the 3rd season, it becomes some of the best sci-fi you could watch on 90s television. It's like out of this world, not comparable, amazing. But you do have to suffer through like hours of content that just sucks. Speaking of, last week, back to this week. Let's you guys kind of like stiffen your backs and whatnot, and you start walking towards the door, over toward, kind of like around and out onto the main road, and towards the actual building. Now, to be clear, because I want to make sure that this is crystal clear before we go any further, the 2 of you are going towards the building that has the diplomats from other provinces or city-states, not the prince's actual home. Correct?
I don't know where we were supposed to go. Literally, you got to tell me where we ended up.
I'm pretty sure that's correct.
Because you wanted to go where he was going to be having... where his meetings were supposed to be at his location. But if they didn't happen, which you were thinking they might not happen, then you're assuming he's going to cross the way over to where the diplomats are.
We're going wherever we can kill him without a crowd.
Both those locations. Technically, his own home is going to be less people. And then I believe Messi was going towards specifically where the diplomats were. I just want to make sure this is clear.
I think that's what we had talked about, all 3 of us previously, and that's where we were like, we're going to meet here eventually. So that's why we came here.
I think you 2 talked about it, and I didn't.
Okay. I think Snaga is right. So this, because as I'm describing it, I'm trying to remember myself. Because I think you guys actually went to his home. That's why there were the royal guards outside of it. You went to his home because that was where his meetings were supposed to take place. But you assumed somewhere happened, and so maybe he would traverse over to here. And you guys were...
Oh, you're saying the opposite? Oh.
Yeah, you guys were... Yeah, at this point in time, I am. I think you guys were saying, screw it, let's go to his home. Whereas Messi was at the diplomat's place. Yondas, at the diplomat's place.
Really? Okay.
Messi definitely went to the diplomat's
place. I have no clue.
place.
So,
Yeah, I thought that we were going there too. That's what...
You originally
I've been
coordinated to the
delirious
diplomats.
and tired the last 6 episodes, so I don't remember jack shit.
You guys were specifically at the diplomat's place. At least Messi was going there before, and then you changed, I believe, partway through. I remember thinking to myself, why did they change it? So I think you're at his place, which is why I described the guards out front. Let's go with that. And Messy, you can of course brain talk to them if you want to. All right. You guys go walking up to the building that would be where he resides, where this is the home he stays in when he's in the city-state. Cool. You go walking up to it, and the two guards that are standing there. As you walk up, they immediately salute. There is a battle commander and a lieutenant commander here, and the two soldiers that you see here, to be clear, because this is right outside of his home, these are both excellents. So these are fairly high-ranking soldiers, well-known, well-to-do. You might know that, Ophios. You've been around Rena and Paradel enough to probably be able to pick that up. Rena, you would instantly know what rank they were. That they're excellents. So they're trained soldiers, but they're just soldiers, not officers. They immediately salute as you guys go over there with the Paradel salute, and you go walking up to them. And one of the soldiers says, "Sir, ma'am, how could we help you?"
I need to speak to the prince.
Of course. Is the prince awaiting you?
Unexpected.
I'll have to announce your coming. Please forgive me. I of course can see your rank, but I don't know your names.
This is my lieutenant. Never mind her. My name is Battle Commander Janesy.
And what province do you come from? Bivala.
Vala?
Mm-hmm.
Vala.
Battle Commander Janesy of Vala, and Lieutenant Commander, and he kind of like, even though you said don't mind her, he says Lieutenant Commander and lets it trail off as he looks to her.
I don't know if we were even using fake names.
You were,
before.
but it wasn't specifically specified. Ask somebody in chat to give you a name real quick.
Okay, give me a fake name. Steve.
Steve? Uh-oh.
Open Bumble window. Josh.
Steve said
Celia.
never mind her. Never mind her.
Never mind her. Never mind. Oh, actually, that's really brilliant. Hold on, wait.
Is it?
No, that is my name. Never.
Never.
Minder.
We'll just say never.
No. So you say Lieutenant Commander Minder.
Yeah, there you go.
Commander Minder?
Yes.
The Minder forces?
Lieutenant Commander? No. Mander? No. Oh, damn it. All right, cool. Never mind. There you go. So it's Neva Minder.
Never Minder, yeah.
Right. Perfect.
Hold him in contempt if he says that again.
Rena, if you could write down Never Minder, that'd be wonderful. I'd appreciate
Absolutely.
it. Lieutenant Commander Never Minder.
I'll remember that.
Lieutenant
What
Commander
did you forget?
Never Minder.
Commander Mander, what?
All right, so you guys go walking up and they say Lieutenant Commander, and you say Minder, and he nods and then turns and goes inside to open the door. As it goes, opens the door, shuts it behind him, and the other one stands there, the one that wasn't speaking to you beforehand, and it's like one of those silences that if it was outside of the military would be super awkward, but in the military people are just accustomed to it. There's no reason to talk about the weather or whatever it is. Duty is being done at this point in time. So for him, it's not
after
awkward.
after the door shuts and there's like such a short time, Ophios is in this guy's voice just go, God, what's taking so long?
Fair. Do you just say that, or do you have like a force behind it? Like you're looking for like
I have force behind it. What's
like
taking so long?
Persuasion or intimidation sort of a thing?
More of an intimidation.
Go ahead, roll it.
All right, it's 9.
He just does not respond. He doesn't look at you. Doesn't do anything. Several more minutes pass. And then eventually the other soldier comes down and says, I'm terribly sorry for keeping you waiting out here. If you'd like to come inside and have a seat in here, he will gladly meet with the two of you shortly. But not as of right now. He is in the middle of another meeting.
Fine. And I'll walk in and take a seat.
And it was important to know, as I described going in there, that any spells your characters would have put on yourselves have clearly run off by now. On top of the run all the way here, transformation chat in the alleyway, and then walking up to the door, the conversation at the door, and then waiting there. Any spells you would have put on yourselves at this point have clearly run off by now, if you even had any on. I don't think you did.
I mean, my disguise self spell, but
that lasts an hour,
lasts a
so
long
that's
time,
yeah, or if not more than an hour, but at least an hour, so you're fine there.
Yeah.
And you can recast it before it ends, so you're fine.
yeah.
So I just want to make sure that's clear. When you go inside the place, immediately when walking in, this place is rather ornate. Again, this is the home, one of the 3 homes that the prince has inside of his kingdom, right? Inside of his province, I should say. Not kingdom, it's province. One of the 3 homes that the prince has here. So it's clearly very, very, very luxurious. Walking in, you can see just like pillars that are marble that hold up the next floor up from there. The opening chamber is rather grandiose. You can see that this place has a very strong Yovance kind of flavor to it. Most likely this land used to belong to Yovance before Paradel took it and made it province of Yovincia, right? So it has that kind of structure to it where it's almost too ornate. Because remember, Yovance is a slave state, right? The very few people that are on top are grossly wealthy because they horribly mistreat their vast number of slaves that they control beneath them. They owned land and an appropriate number of slaves for that land, and they do not treat them well for the most part. So this place is lavish in its original design. The decoration is more towards a Paradel style, a bit more militaristic, but definitely still has paintings and whatnot, just clean lines, etc., etc. But again, the meat and bones of this place is lavishly designed. The floor work is just like the tiled floor is just all cut out of very fine stone, very well milled, so on and so forth, or ground, I should say. Walking throughout the place, it's just absolutely amazing. The room that you go into, that's the sitting room, is itself has a wall, like one of the walls to it has all built-in bookcases with a ton of different books alongside of it. In the middle of those bookcases, there's a large fireplace with an actual fire coming off of it. A bunch of very well decorated chairs, but again, Paradel. So these chairs, while being finely crafted, are straight backed and don't have any cushions or anything like that on them. They're wooden, etc., etc. It definitely feels militaristic. On the wall opposite, the one that you come in opposite of where the fire and the books are, there is that wall is decorated with various coats of arms that suggest the long standing family of Kringal, as well as the a few weapons that you likely have much story to them from various conquests and wars or whatever in the past. And as soon as you walk into that place, the guard that's leading you over there, kind of like gestures for you to stay there, and there's already somebody inside there standing there with a tray in their hands, holding. You can see steam coming out of the tea kettle, and 2 cups upside down on saucers with obviously a place to get like milk or sugar or honey or whatnot to put into your tea. And as soon as you walk in, and the soldier says, "If you'll excuse me, commanders," and then he'll turn and walk off, and the other person will walk up to you and say, "Would you like to have a beverage while you're sitting and relaxing?"
I'm famished. Is there anything to eat as well?
In fact, we do have sandwiches on the way. Our other butler was preoccupied for a moment. I'm terribly sorry for keeping you waiting. The finger food will be out momentarily. Or what do they call it? What do they call it? Little sandwiches. What are they called? When it's like cucumber sandwiches?
Hors d'oeuvres.
Hors d'oeuvres.
Like cucumber sandwiches. There's a word for it.
Garbage.
Spiders? Trash?
No, what? No.
Dirty water? Disgusting?
Somebody with
Cucumbers are
class.
gross.
Somebody with class in chat will remind us what the name of little cucumber sandwiches are called.
Someone with glass.
Someone with class in
Yes.
chat. So if you're not the person that knows the answer, just understand I'm not talking about you. So I'm assuming Rosin's gonna be the one with the answer, but I could be mistaken. Gross. Wow. So back to they genuinely apologize, and they say, "Allow me to pour some tea for you, and I can get on that immediately." Wow, Joey.
I'll just gesture like, go ahead.
Marina?
She was actually going to decline just by shaking her head and putting her hand up.
Does Ophios take some tea?
He does, and he says, pour hers anyway.
This is a very important question. Your tea, milk, no milk, sugar, no sugar, honey, no honey.
Yes milk and yes honey.
Milk and honey in your tea. Marina?
Just honey.
Just honey? You guys even asked what kind of tea it is, you monsters. So American.
I like honey.
So American. Me too. Honey and green tea. So most other tea is not good. In my opinion, tea is actually really, really good. Just I'm not a big fan. Unless it's green tea or white tea. So back to you. So they, put honey inside both of the teas, a little bit of milk inside yours, and they settle down the tray into an area where you can easily grab to your saucer. I don't know if you guys sit down or you choose to kind of stand and walk about. I imagine neither of you drink your drink immediately anyways. You allow them to kind of get it prepared for you, put it down for you, and say, please excuse me while I go and see what's taking so long. And they immediately turn and walk out.
Yep.
Leaving the two of you alone inside this room. The room is not small, but it's also not huge either. It's comfortably sized. Easily 5 people can sit in here without ever being anywhere near one another, but also you couldn't fit like 15 people in here, Continue, Tyler.
He'll sit
That's
back.
right, Joey.
He'll sit. Ophios will sit back and just simply say, "Seems this meeting is in fact going on."
She's avoiding eye contact with you, but she'll just agree.
Okay. So what are you guys doing now then?
I'm going to probably look about the room. The tea is gonna not get consumed at all by Ophios.
That's fine.
Just so you know. But he's just going to walk around the room, and if we're alone, I'm gonna just make sure we're like alone, and then he's probably gonna use
Roll a
detect
perception
magic.
check before you do that then.
Yeah.
And Rena, you can imagine while he's like looking, and he can roll a deception to be discreet about it. I don't know if you're doing the same thing, like also snooping about, or if you're just literally standing there. Or actually being, discreet.
I mean, she's being less conspicuous since he's the more conspicuous one, so she's probably just sitting there.
All right. Probably
but,
sitting closer to the doorway in case somebody comes in. Tyler,
Yeah.
why don't you go ahead and roll the deception? So in case, as you go to the doorway, if somebody notices you, you seem like you're just pacing, sort of a thing. Corned beef, by the way. It's so friggin' tender. She does such a good job with this. Much love to the mother-in-law. She's a terrible cook, but when it comes to like 3 or 4 recipes, oh my god, she just knocks it out of the water. Out of the park, whatever. It's amazing. Deception check, Tyler?
Deception. 24.
Woot woot. So, oh my god, this is so good. So the 24, you easily just look like you're kind of like grumpily pacing back and forth, trying to make sure that you have a moment that you're like, okay, there's nobody walking by here or nearby. The butlers are nowhere about, so on and so forth. And you turn, you go back, and you immediately activate your spell if you want to bloop it in chat. And you can do this for, you're not actually casting this, correct?
Correct. It's a. Where is it?
Because a ritual takes 10 minutes, so.
No.
That's right. Elder Sight. Cool. So you guys, Elder Sight, go ahead and roll me the Loper check, please.
I'm gonna use Winifred's wisdom on this.
Rena's actually kind of loud to me as well, but I'm not complaining.
I'm sorry.
No.
Should I use
Okay.
Winifred's wisdom here, chat? Or I don't think it's that.
I mean,
important.
this is the Loper check, right?
Yeah, but I don't think it's that important in this particular situation. It's just kind of making sure they're here.
Sure. Goes lucky if need be, anyways. Oh, Jesus.
29. Don't need to. Rolled a 19.
Yeah, it's a good thing you didn't waste that Winifred's wisdom, huh? Do you want to luck that to see if you can crest that 30?
I don't think it's necessary.
Up to you.
No.
You also don't know how much luck you have. I honestly have no idea how much luck you have. Oh, I just realized something popped in. Give me one moment. I need to read this real quick.
Rita sent another update for you to fix the buttons.
I just installed it.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Just read that. To be clear,
Am I
just
still loud?
read that 44 minutes ago. I mean, Rena, marginally to me. Like, you are louder than them, but, like, not by a noteworthy amount. Like, I wasn't saying anything for a reason, because it's fine.
Okay.
Sometimes you can be rather soft.
I also think Tyler's just a little
Yeah.
quiet.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Tyler's been quiet for a
I
while.
always am quiet. There's nothing I can do. Zoom is stupid.
Like I
Okay.
said, I'm gonna uninstall
That's
reinstall Zune.
fine.
And Messy's gonna hop on a call with me and help me work through my drivers at some point. He just found out right now though. All right.
I don't want to do that.
So yeah, it's gonna be fun. So Rena, back to you. No, you were sorry. Ophios, back to you. So you cast that. You immediately look around. Instantly, you detect the presence of Loper magic. Instantly, you detect the presence of Loper magic. To be clear, you don't just detect the presence of Loper magic. Specifically, on the wall behind you, the one that you guys came in through, where I mentioned that crest, the coat of arms that's there. 2 of those crests, one to the left side of the wall, one to the right side of the wall, are eeping with Loper magic. We'll get to that in a moment. The pot of tea and the tea that was poured also has a faint degree of Loper magic inside that as well. Okay, you're noticing this inside the area. Over by the bookcase, there seems to be a couple spots that Loper magic seems to be emanating from there as well. It looks like, yeah, bookcase over there, the crest, and there. There are 4 different spots close to each of the 4 different corners. So 4 spots total, not 16 total. You can feel emanation of Loper magic, as well as a faint bit with the tea.
Ophios will walk over to Rena and simply wave over the tea, like, don't drink, like, just, it's like waving
Yeah.
off, like in blackjack when you're saying no, I'll stay, the just hand over. That's
I imagine
basically-
you can do it discreet enough that she picks up on that.
yeah.
She probably wasn't going to drink it anyway.
And then I'm gonna go over and investigate one of the bookcases.
Sure. You go over to one of the bookcases and start trying to investigate it. Again, you rolled high enough in your Loper check there that you can easily pinpoint where the magic is emanating from. It's actually over in a part of the bookcase that's a little bit out of reach, a little bit higher up, but you're able to go up there and grab down a couple of books that are there. The titles of the books aren't anything particularly noteworthy. It's about historical this or psalms that or so on and so forth. Like poetry, my apologies, that, and so on and so forth. Odes. Nothing that really strikes you. What does strike you is when you pull the books down, you can actually, you can't see because it's above your head, but you can, whatever the emanation is coming from, you could probably reach up and grab at it if you wanted to. Would you want to do that?
That's risky. I don't think you'd want to do that in this situation.
You'd have to gain some degree of altitude if you want to, or height, if you want to see what it is, because it's definitely over your head.
Is there like a chair or something, or
Yeah,
something
the
that I
chairs
can
are right
stand
there.
on?
Their chairs are right there, and obviously you'd be choosing the one that's further away from the doorway to come in. Like, you're not dumb. But
And he would say, he would look to Rena and look at the door, like give a look out without saying a look out, like.
Yeah, she'll stand to keep it, like, stay closer to the door, just keep on a lookout.
As previously stated, these chairs are heavy. Like, they're very heavy, finely crafted military chairs, right? So I just need a strength check from you to make sure you don't like scrape it at all. So you can do like a clean pick up and put down gently.
Oh, if they're heavy, Rena will do that, and I'll look out for the move.
Okay.
Okay.
He's like,
Cool.
You easily pick them up and are able to bring them over there. If there's a noise, it's like a gentle clatter. You know how like at nighttime, if you are the spouse or a person in your house, whatever member of your family that's awake in the middle of the night, and you're trying to be super, super quiet because you're secretly trying to like eat a bowl of cereal without everybody else knowing that you're doing this in the middle of the night, or maybe grab some more ice cream and you don't want others to realize that you're eating more ice cream even though you've already had way too much that day already.
Or shredded cheese.
Or shredded cheese, whatever it is, and you don't want that spoon to clatter, so you try to put it down on the counter. But the noise just sounds so loud to you.
Yes.
I'm totally not describing my every single solitary night after streaming. That's like the amount of noise you make, where it's honestly not much, but it's just exaggerated in your ears. Ophios probably didn't even notice it, right? Either way, you walk over to Ophios to say, more or less, I got the spot while he can go over there. Ophios, you walk over there, easily step up with the chair, and you look out, and what do you see? I mean, there's no actual glow coming from it. That'd be a little too overt. But the glow that you see is coming from the detect magic that you have on, the Loper magic emanating from it, right? What you actually see, there's actually a perfect example, is actually a crystal about this large in size, about the size of a 20-ounce, cup. So it's a crystal. It's a little bit wider at the base, and gets a little bit, it's kind of cylindrical. But it comes to almost a point at the top, like a bit of a rounded point at the top. Has a whole bunch of different, kind of like rough cut facets carved into it. Its coloration is like that of a pinkish, orangish color. But I don't mean like a salmon. I mean like it has pinkish to it and has orangish to it, and it kind of like moves back and forth between those depending on where on the stone it is. I'm sure you've seen rocks inside of what are they called, geodes before, where it's like multiple. So like that kind of coloration to it, and you can see that the magic coming off of it it's not small. But now that you have eyes on it, you're focused on it, you rolled a friggin' 29 on your Loper knowledge check, you know that this is a homing. Sorry, it's not. You don't know because of previous learning. You know because of understanding the magics and everything you've learned along the way, kind of like compiling that information together with what you see before you. This is a honing crystal. This crystal is here specifically to take Loper magic and enhance it. So the fact that the four corners are covered with this kind of similar magic emanating, you think anybody utilizing Loper magic inside here, it would seriously enhance the ability of that magic. And they must be spaced as they are for a reason.
I kind of want to remove one and put it in a bag.
Go ahead.
So I'm gonna take this one and throw it in a bag, in my bag.
Do you have the haversack?
Yeah.
So you take it and you remove it. As soon as you remove it, you see that the glow gets a little bit lesser as you pull it away, and even as you pull it away a little bit further, a little bit lesser, a little bit lesser. Once you throw it into an extra dimensional bag, so it's not even on this plane of existence anymore, so there's only 3 stones inside here, immediately the amount of Loper magic inside this place drops by considerable. If it was strong magic, powerful magic before, it's magic there now, like it's active magic, but it's whatever it was doing before, whatever focusing it had, it has dropped considerably. I mean,
I'm going to go around and try and discreetly remove as many as I can.
The problem is the other 2 are either attached to, behind, within, whatever it is, those crests. And the other one, so that's 2 of them, right? And the other one, you would have to literally put a chair in front of where the doorway looks into this room.
There's books in here, right? Is there a pen?
If you go over to like where the book part of the bookcase is, you can see where parchments and whatnot are sitting there, looking around inside of like a drawer. You can find a quill and an inkwell.
Cool. Basically, I'm gonna sit in the chair in which it was, or basically look to Rena, go to the door to Rena, and just say, "Put the chair back."
I'll move
And I'll watch
everything
the
back
door,
as it
and
was.
I'll grab pen and parchment, and I'll like set up at like wherever I can write, and I'm gonna write things.
Okay, Rena, you're going to make a strength check. Ophios, you can make a perception, but because you're actively writing things while being lookout with disadvantage.
Oh, I'm not writing yet. I'm not writing yet.
Oh, for
writing once the chair's back.
Then a normal one. Rena, how's your hand? Hey, Anno, Green, Roz, Steve, and Norway. Oh wait, I said Norway. I'm missing somebody. Who else is there? Vance. Does this sound familiar? Does this look familiar? My
alcohol for this.
my Patreon session that we ran at like ridiculous o'clock this morning. The reason why I woke up at 2:30 a.m. My Patreon session had I think like 15 natty ones. It was crazy. The only natty 20 I can think of was me attacking one of them. We'll just leave it alone at that.
Really wish we had rerolls here.
Ah. Oh.
It's fine. It's fine. It's
All right.
fine.
So,
Okay.
Rena's pushing this chair back, but as she does so, she unfortunately scratches and scrapes it on the ground. Like she just kind of like trips up how she's walking. It's like, you know, but at the same time, Ophios is not aware of the fact that someone was coming up to give her a heads up, like stop. So somebody just comes, like, as it's happening, whoever was nearby quickly finishes rushing over to come, but not jogging, obviously, because that would be like they're holding food and they're butlers and whatnot. They quickly, very briskly make their way over to the room and walk in and see Rena kind of like straightening herself up from having clearly been pushing the chair around, and Ophios looking like at her while she's, you know, doing that as they come walking, like, what the hell, man? As they come walking into the room. And like, pardon me, commanders. I have to inquire exactly what is going on in here. And you can see he's holding, you know, finger foods. Brittany, I wish you were on the call so you could tell me what these cucumber sandwiches are called. They're probably just called cucumber sandwiches, and I'm just really dumb. Why aren't you here, Brittany? Go ahead.
Immediately Ophios will be like, my apparently inadequate lieutenant was trying to find me a good seat for me to start writing and making notes for the meeting coming up. And apparently tripped and fell.
Deception with disadvantage, if you'd like to convince them. Do you want to use?
I'm switching that to no. You know what? We'll do the disadvantage. I'm fine with it.
You really? Are you sure?
I'm gonna just rock this disadvantage.
Are these your final words?
I'm just gonna rock the disadvantage. I'm just gonna do it, and we're gonna see what happens. So,
Cucumber Witch for the win.
It's a 14, and we're gonna go ahead and luck that, and it's gonna be an 18.
That's a plus 11. You just you rolled a 7 and got a plus 11 up to an 18.
Tyler, I have to say the Stones of Steel on that one. That was like bravo, good sir. Bravo.
Puts on the face of the warden, and all bets are off. He's like, "Well, it's fine. It's fine. I got this."
It's like I needed an
my renal
adequate
rolls.
place to sit and prepare my notes. Like, damn.
Yeah, yes, sir. Okay.
Like that was bravo. Okay, kudos. Let's continue. And he stops and goes, "My apologies. Do you need a different seat?" He says, "Do you need a different seat, Commander?"
He'll walk over and check and sit in the seat and just say, "Yes, if you would."
I'll see if we have anything for the missus about. And he places down the plate of sandwiches. He leaves the room.
And the whole time you see the warden's face is scolding Rena, like scolding Rena.
Just like, what? You didn't notice him coming. So Tyler, the finger food, the sandwiches, those don't have any Loper magic or anything like that in it.
He'll go ahead and eat them. Mm-hmm. If there's a place where I can make it,
but
look
there
like
was
we
poison.
Drink, I'm immune to it.
I know, that's why I said it.
If there's a place where I can make the tea like look like it's been drank,
he takes some tea, walks over to a plant, and just pours some tea into a plant pot.
Yep.
That's so funny. He's like, Rena grabs hers and spills a little bit into the fire.
That works.
It's so funny. All right. You do that just to make sure that it shows like a half or 2/3 or whatever of your cups are empty. And then you guys settle yourselves back down. And as you're kind of like settling yourself back down again, the other butler comes back in and says, "Is there anything else I can provide for you?" This is one you haven't met yet. They have the associated sandwiches. Commanders, is there anything else I can get for you while you're waiting? Perhaps you would like to have the violinist come in, or the cellist, or both.
No, I prefer the silence. Unless you have some screaming prisoners about.
They kind of widen their eyes.
He starts laughing. I'm messing with you.
Oh. Sometimes sometimes you often hear also prefers extreme silence when inside this room. fireplace by you. It's crackling with a real fire, which might be a bit noisy. We can instead put that fire out and enable the magical one, the illusionary fire, if you would like. That might be better for ambiance without the sound.
The regular fire is fine.
Okay.
Soothing.
Then,
But do you have any books
he
about-
looks past you.
specifically regarding this area? It's not often I am around here. Or any battle reports of what is happening on this front.
Oh, reports. That would be with the Yavanhir himself, or at the very least, the Master of War.
I can wait.
I will certainly send word to the Maw if you would like to have reports brought your way. If he feels it's appropriate, he will send them.
Unnecessary. Was merely looking for something to pique my interest.
Nods. I understand. There's a bell on the table right there by where I placed where the sandwiches were placed for you. If you require anything else, please feel free to ring.
He's gonna ring the bell and he's like, "Be gone."
Reaches down. Ding, ding, ding. It's important to note the bell itself is actually made out of electrum. So, it's probably like electrum plated as opposed to actually being electrum, because that would be insanely expensive and not the most durable thing. But there's a electrum bell that's there. Do you know what electrum is, by the way, real life, or no?
No.
Electrum is like an alloy that's a combination of silver and gold. It has this like really polished, kind of like silvery look to it. It's
Okay.
If you actually look at your character sheet, it's the piece that's between silver and gold. Anyways, so either way, so it's an electrum bell that's there that you pick it up. Ding, be gone. He's like, and leaves. Leaves you guys alone. I'll tell you, about 2 minutes later, the other person is going to come in with a chair. The chair that they come in with is designed very differently from the other ones, because it's actually designed to be a little bit wider. The back has a bit more of a swoop to it that suggests for somebody that wants to maybe lean back into it a little bit more rather than keeping themselves completely erect. They can kind of like sit back into it more if you're trying to like not quite slouch, but almost if you're going to fall asleep in your chair. And there's actually a cushion embroidered onto the chair as well, so a bit of cushioning to it. So it's a much more comfortable chair. When he was said for the missus, he really meant for the Yavanhir's spouse, so that they could have a comfortable place to sit for long periods of time. So he brings over and sets it down. It has a nice flowery pattern to it. Puts it down, and almost immediately, looking at that flowery pattern, you can tell you know that flower all too well.
Honeysuckle.
It is. Though, doesn't actually smell of honeysuckle and isn't emanating at all.
This'll do. Any news on how long it'd be?
If I had to make a broad guess, I would say an hour or two.
Glad I requested this chair then.
Nods. If you require anything else, there's a bell right there on the table. You can pick that up and ring it, and one of us will come to provide whatever aid that you require.
Appreciated. For now, moving forward, unless I ring the bell, I'd prefer to be uninterrupted, unless it is the prince.
That's not something that will entirely be in my control. If there are any others coming to wait the meeting, it is possible that they will also come to wait in this room as well. But to the best of my ability, no servants here will be coming by to interrupt you.
That is appreciated. I have work to do.
Of course, Commander. And looks over at Rena and says, Commander. Commander. Sorry.
And with that, Ophios is going to take a seat and start writing.
I missed my Mass Effect campaign. We did 3 of them, and I never got to finish telling my story. I want to go back and I want to finish my Mass Effect story, because Mass Effect 3 was garbage, and I want to finish my story. I need Rick back.
I've got some great Mass Effect stuff that I've got going on. You know, you went with Witcher on Lost Initiative. I didn't get invited, so I found my my Mass Effect elsewhere, sir.
I won't lie. I really want to do a Mass Effect campaign again. It's been so long, and I really want to have Rick, Mighty Rick, or Derp Digital. I really want to have Rick back because he was in all 3 campaigns so far, and I think he actually got to play the same character. No, he played the same character in the 1st and the 3rd season. Yeah, James Cameron. No, it's a director.
Anyway, getting back to the story,
Yeah.
Ophio sits down at the desk and starts writing. He scribbles us on the first piece of parchment a note for Rena that simply says, "These crystals in this rune are designed to enhance Loper magic abilities. Burn this upon reading."
She'll do so.
And then there's still more on the piece of paper. So
Oh.
it's gonna also say,
Nope, she's chugging the fire. It's too
And he's
late.
like,
and then he's like, "You idiot. There was more to that." And he hands it to you. Burn upon reading.
choose it, throws it away. He's like,
Burns it again. Yeah, no. Okay, all right. What did the backside say?
Okay. The rest of the original note said, if possible, if combat does commence in this room, to either destroy the crystals or find a means of getting him out of this room.
Okay. Him as in the prince you're talking about.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I was able to remove one of the source stones. And that's
Like there's
pretty much
3
it.
left, basically.
Yeah, there's 3 left.
Okay, cool.
all right. We're going to go over to Yondis now. Yondis, you went to the other chamber, the one where you know that where you're hoping that he's going to be coming here to speak with the other advisors and whatnot. That's the diplomats coming from the other provinces and whatnot. So you go
Sounds
to
right.
that. You go to that area again, dressed as you were, so on and so forth. Trying to look about for the room where most likely the meetings would be transpiring. It's actually pretty easy for you to investigate this. It's going to be a DC 10 investigation check for you.
I bumped my table and the whole fucking thing started shaking. I thought something was going to fall. Investigation?
No, DC 10. It's very easy.
Not very good at that.
Asking questions, poking about.
Okay, I'll take it.
It's on the crook. It's halfway between 2 numbers. You have to reroll for me.
Yeah, I'll reroll for you.
You didn't give me that, you dick.
Oh, thank you. Okay, cool. 16. Appreciate it. All right.
Yep.
So with your 16, you easily poke around and are able to find the chamber where this meeting will be taking place. As a matter of fact, this area that's meant to house all these diplomats, kind of like how a hotel has like a conference room. This actually has 3 different rooms where meetings take place. Smaller meetings take place in these really small rooms that are literally designed with kind of like almost like little sitting areas that are designed to be a little bit comfortable. A few people can sit there and have a bit of a private chat. And then actually a much larger room that has a large oblong table inside of it. And again, not squared off. It's actually like a rounded table, which means a rather large tree must have been cut and slated and whatnot to craft this thing. And has a bunch of chairs around it. It's important to note that both sides of this chamber that you're in right now have fireplaces inside of it, so you can get like warmth from both sides in the wintertime. And that one side seems slightly more ornate than the other, like with the fireplace and everything there, suggesting that if this was where he was going to come to, likely that would be his seat, right? It's the one that kind of like has a bit more of a air to it, if you will. Again, investigating these chambers is pretty easy to do. Only one of them that you popped into had people inside of it, and they give you excuse me, you know, oh, pardon, and you shut the door. The other 2 were empty, allowing you to kind of like look about those rooms. Would you want to look about them any further?
No, I'd probably try to find the prince now. Identify his whereabouts.
Sure. Then last thing I would point out for those chambers I was talking about, the 2 smaller meeting rooms are actually on the 2nd floor of the building that we're discussing. They'd be upstairs, whereas a larger room would actually be on the 1st floor.
Well, okay, then I guess I will take a look and I'll see if the larger one's the one that he would most likely be in.
The larger one, yeah, most likely, because it's like a bit more grand.
Okay. Do they have guards stationed at the front of this building?
Of the building, there are what you call it? There is a guard that stands out there, but again, they don't question people as they come and go. They're there in case they're needed. Kind of like how in American schools we always have a cop.
Yeah, and is there all right, let's look for escape routes then.
Sure.
Other than the main doors, would there be windows that are openable or any other side doors, exits?
So, referencing the actual way to get into that room, so there's only one door in or out of that exact room, right? But as for this building itself, the building itself has two doors in or outside of it. You can see by walking around the perimeter of the building. Those two doors are going to be the main front door, and then the servants' back door, like where the kitchens and whatnot would be getting their supplies from. Again, servants, these are inclame people or like actual like citizens that have this as a paid job. Like again, not like slavery or anything like that, depending on your opinion of inclame. So there's two doors technically, the servants' door and then the primary door. Now inside the actual chamber itself, when you kind of like glanced in, because you haven't really searched her out there yet, when you kind of glanced in, there's going to be 3 windows in there, a small one to the far left, a small one to the far right, and actually a large window in the center. It's a large window. It's kind of like a large rectangular one, but because it's the old days, it's not like one of the bay windows that kind of like cuts outwards. It's almost just like a large pane that goes across to allow a ton of light to come in and a ton of like kind of almost like a heat transference, depending if it was like cold, hot, whatever it is you're trying to do, right? And then of course above those there's like that big window. There's a triangular shaped window up there as well, because this room kind of comes to a bit of a points to it because of where it's located in the building. So there's a window there to again allow more natural light to come in. The window to the far left and the far right, those do open and close to allow for a breeze through. Mm-hmm.
And the large window, what is the view of?
So the view is actually so because this chamber here, this building here is meant to be for diplomats, right? The area around this building, there is obviously a street that leads up to it, but there's also a bit of like a nice park nearby, not like a large park. We're talking like a small one, right? Nearby with a bit of a garden inside of it, a place where visiting diplomats can go and sit and enjoy the outside on a nice day, et cetera, et cetera. It oversees that, right? But because of that, there's large, heavy curtains that can be drawn to close out any viewing if need be. And that park is across a street, like across, I should say, not a street, but a bit of like a yard, right? So it's not like it's right there and somebody can sit out there and listen in. Like there's enough distance between where the sitting area and the flowers are and where this is. So oversees that kind of like
perfect. But it's not facing the main road then.
No, not at all, not at all.
Okay.
Cool. Again, the far left window opens, far right window opens, and they can latch shut. Simple like latch.
I think the
middle one doesn't.
I think I'm good. I think that's it. Cool. So I'll go look for the prince now. See if I can locate him. See if he's here or not. That would be a great place to start.
No,
see if my friends are here or not.
In this building, he is not here. Opios, Rena, or whatever disguise that they're in, are they in this building? They are not.
Okay.
You know that I believe you knew that they wanted to escape. Yeah, you knew that they wanted to escape from where they were, right?
I told them
believe
to.
that.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
I thought so.
Message,
Cool.
yeah.
Awesome. So now what do you do?
I guess I'll let's let's talk to my friends. So I'm actually supposed to roll for it to see if I can talk to both of them or not. There's a 1 in 8 chance that I can't.
Okay.
So I'm gonna roll just in case.
A mile is huge in a city.
Yeah.
Right? So you can definitely talk to them from where you are.
It's an 8. Perfect.
So you're good?
Yep. Okay. Actually, I think, does that shrink my die?
I think it shrinks your die when you get the best thing.
Okay, I'm down to a d6 then.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Okay.
Go ahead.
And
as you're
I'm talking to them now.
As you're finished investigating this room, I can almost imagine as you like walk back in, check the curtains, see how heavy they are and whatnot. Maybe even unlatch one of the windows to make sure it can be opened. You start making this connection with them.
Okay, I've checked out the place. There seems to be plenty of routes in and out of the building.
Jesus, could you
Prince
give
isn't
us
here
a
yet.
warning before you come
No.
popping in our brains next time?
No, I can't. I actually can't. There's no way for me to give you a warning. I'm sorry. But
The funny
Like I was
part
saying-
is, too, he's coming in a lot more clearly than he ever has before. He's coming in much clearer than he was before. It's actually like
There's no static.
Oh.
Sorry, Scott.
it's a rather firm connection that you guys can feel coming to from his minds to yours as of right now.
Speaking of which, how does this spell work again? Is it just he can only hear our responses to him?
Messy, you can respond to that.
I'll put it in chat. There you go.
Speak telepathically with each other. So yeah, so I imagine you can
For
only
1
hear
hour.
our responses.
You can speak telepathically with you, and you can speak telepathically with them. To send or receive message, you and the creature must be within 1 mile of each other. A creature can't use his telepathy if he can't speak, and it can end at any time. So, if you speak to me, I can hear you. If I speak to you, you can hear me, and vice versa. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Technically,
I'm pretty
Ophios
sure-
can't hear me though.
I'm pretty sure with this one we discussed this last time. You actually can speak to each other because it says you give yourself and at least
Is
one
that
of
what
the
we
creatures
said?
the ability to speak with each other.
Ah, okay, yeah. I was like, what? I'm pretty
It
sure
says,
we were
and at
talking to
least
each other
one
last
creature
time.
speaks. So if you phrase that, assuming multiple, you give yourself and a few creatures the ability to speak with each other, right?
Okay. Where are you?
I'm with the other diplomats and nobles, the building that we've all convened in. I'm sure the prince will come here shortly after he discovers no one wanted to meet with him.
May have superseded
What are
that
you?
plan.
What are you doing?
We're meeting with the prince.
We're at the prince's house.
Why?
Was that not the
Don't
plan?
answer that. It's fine. Don't answer. Okay. Do you have an escape route?
Yes.
Okay. Have you identified the
Teleportation.
princes there?
The prince is most definitely here.
Great. Have you seen him yet?
No.
How many guards is he with?
There were
2 at the
3
front.
outside,
2 at the front.
2 at the front. And that's it.
2 butlers so far. Not sure how many are in the room that he's currently having a meeting in.
This place is a massive mansion. You know what I mean? There could be dozens of people in here. You have no idea.
That's
Is
all we've
anyone
seen.
else? Is anyone else coming to speak with him?
He's in a meeting currently.
We're not sure. But didn't think so. Considering he's supposed to be on his way to where you are. After this, I assume.
After what? After his current meeting or after you?
Whatever comes first. His current meeting.
So you're going to meet with the prince in his home as yourself.
Not exactly.
Oh. Okay. And so when you escaped, what did you leave behind to throw them off your trail?
You
Well-
just hear silence.
Okay. Just tell me when the prince is coming. We have an hour. We can keep this up. I'll go and see if they're onto you. Okay? All right. Don't die.
Yeah, you either.
Yeah, I won't die.
So what is
Okay, let's go,
Might die.
Let's Yondis will now go and investigate to see if there are some kind of patrol or guards that are looking for the missing Rena and Ophios.
Absolutely. Remember, it's not Miss Rena Ophios. It's what's her name? What your name is? Minda.
The fake Rena and Ophios.
Well, now it's a different name.
No, because she would have.
Or are we saying that that's the name? I'd use the same name.
That's what you have your
Yeah.
paperwork for. Yeah. So it's Minda.
I would use whatever the name it was on the paperwork. So it's Commander Minder.
Would you have? Because we just switched to be something else.
Well, I
would've
can't
been a
look
different name.
I can't look different. I have to look the same, so I wouldn't have switched.
And before you were disguised as like.
So you told them.
It's my fake name, though.
The name that they know you as.
So once she has
Oh
paperwork
my
to back
God.
up, and Tyler, of course, was disguised himself as Field Commander Scheid. So I mean, that's who they're looking for. So yeah,
That's funny.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
now
great.
I'm not that commander. I'm a different person.
Don't whine about it, Scheid.
Okay. You
It's really bad.
Oh.
Is your
can't
family-
leave you two alone.
Wine
Only
joke.
a few of us would get that
Jeez.
reference. But
Chat would get it.
I love the Brit Uggs.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Can we use those? No, I can't.
I haven't been able to switch them around because Rena, the only reason I can't switch them around is because I have all my old emotes from Ollie. I can't find them. All the emotes I got from this girl that I paid to make emotes from, I think she was Germany. I can't find those either. I can't find.
No,
any of
Rena's
them.
Arizona.
I can't find where any of them are. So because I can't find I can't find where they sent them to me, like a Dropbox or a email. I can't find them anywhere. Can't find them saved on any of my computers. So I'm like, where are these emotes for me to be able to? Because I can't just like save them as I pull them off. You can't download them from Twitch. I have to delete them and re-upload them.
Yeah.
So if I can't find the raw files, if I delete it, I lose it. So
Can't you? Well, I know it's not the raw files, but can't you open aren't the image links the full image already, full size?
No, because otherwise it'd
No.
be stolen off of Twitch. So they actually do a really good job of compressing them and stuff like that.
And on the back end? No, I don't think so. Where you upload them?
You cannot get access to them on the back end to be able to download.
Yeah.
I'm
can't,
just
like,
telling
right-click
you
open
straight
image.
up. I've looked.
Because this is a problem that
Okay.
I'm not the first person to bump into this problem before. So
Okay.
I'll check again. Like I can check while we're chatting. Once you guys are role playing with one another, I'll look again. I just don't want to do it while I'm role playing. So
Oh
anyways,
yeah, I get that.
so back to you, Messi. You are trying to go and investigate specifically his place now. No. Sorry, the trail they left behind. This is again going to be an investigation check from you, sir.
Investigation. Fuck. Why did I dump all my intelligence? I wish I was just. That was so fucking scary.
I saw that one.
Oh my god.
So that being said, do you want to luck that at all, sir?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at the emotes. Once they're locked in, by the way,
You
Messi,
can luck it if you want.
it's not like before where it shows the different images, like the small, medium, large. It literally just shows a
Yeah.
small image with a number next to it. So is it 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, and then a trash barrel for you to get rid of.
I don't even know. I
If
don't
you
even
open the
remember
image
where
in
to see
another,
them
if
anymore.
you open the
so-
image in a new tab, it only opens a 28 by 28, and it has a background, and a watermark on it. So you cannot
Oh.
do that. Yeah.
Huh.
They actually really secure it. I'm telling you. So.
That's annoying.
Yeah, I mean, I get why they do it, so I'm not going to complain. It's me that lost the image files, and I just have to remember the girl's name so I can message her and see if she still has them. And I don't think Ollie has those. He made those old ones for me like 3 years ago. But back to the game. So you do you want to luck that to get better than 14 to find out whether or not they're being pursued and by who and how many?
This
and
is
so
like
on?
the third time you've asked me, so
I-
I'll take
I-
the hint.
No. I just distracted myself with the emo thing.
Oops.
I'd say oops.
17.
Okay. So with the 17, you are able to kind of like walk around and see what's going on. You actually find out that apparently a master of war recognized that the two of them literally fled, watched them flee, like saw them running off. So he has no idea where they're going, why they're going there, but there is definitely it's not like they're being arrested, right? There's an inquiry as to what the hell is going on with those two. So there has been a notice put out for any reports for if they're seen, their whereabouts, etc., etc., etc. You can imagine those reports will very quickly go to places like, the building where you just were or the building where they are, because obviously there's places that you would want to have a higher degree of security going throughout the city. So for the character Ophios was playing and the character Rena is playing.
Would I have found that within an hour?
Probably within an hour, yeah.
Okay.
Because you would just go to the source. You would just go straight back to where it was that they were being held and kind of like ask around and whatnot.
Okay.
Oh, do me a favor.
Cool.
Go ahead and roll me a discretion check or a deception check for being as discreet as possible with this investigation, so people don't ask about you. Do you want to luck your 14 again?
Not really. I mean, I'm
Do you
not.
have anything else that boosts you? Because that's gonna be a problem.
I don't think that's going to be a problem. Mister rolls 2 natty ones in a row.
Excuse me, I did not roll 2 natty ones in a row, and then I had the balls to do a disadvantage roll right after that.
Tyler's
My
like,
bad. I
would like
just meant the
everybody
two of
to-
you together.
How's it going?
Acknowledge
Everybody's
my
paying attention to balls.
intelligence.
Look at my balls.
Yeah, nice headband.
Thanks.
Yeah, no, I'm not rolling. I'll take the L if it's an L. It's fine.
Okay, so you try to be as discreet as you can be. You think
Boom.
you're pretty discreet. Cool. You're privileged.
Would that work?
You're privileged.
Do I
It's
get to be privileged?
It's that parent privilege. You know what I'm saying? It's that parent privilege. It's ruining.
Do I get to be parent privileged?
You are
today?
privileged. You're super privileged.
Yes.
If you name drop yourself.
My name drop myself. Oh.
You have to
I have to
your-
name drop myself? I can't just act like I'm privileged? And people are like, man, this guy's privileged.
In all
Oh,
fairness,
Karen.
keep in mind, Scott, he does have like more of the noble clothes on because he's been around that area as well.
Oh no, I'm aware. I'm aware.
Okay.
He's also been traveling around a lot in those noble clothes. They're probably starting to get a bit dirty.
No, I just bought them yesterday.
Yeah, I know. 2 days of wearing the same clothes. It's a bit dirty.
Well,
Hey guys, you
It's
wanna hear
only
That's
been
something?
not
one night.
unheard of given how baths and stuff work.
Did you guys know that Rosin's real name is Karen? I mean, it's kind of
Ew.
makes sense when you know
ugh.
her personality. But did you know Rosin's real name is Karen?
I'm sorry.
Good
Makes
to
me
know.
chuckle.
Good
Yeah,
to know.
it's pretty funny. Anyways,
Sorry,
so,
Rosin.
Karen, we got a Karen and a Todd, man. Your chat's really full of them.
we also got a Joey. We have quite the Joey.
You're right. You're right.
There's no
You also have a
excuse.
Josh.
Who?
You can ask Wade about the name Josh.
I'm wading through all these Joshes. I'm really caring about it.
That's good, Todd.
All right. Anyways, let's keep going. So you find this out. What do you do, Messi?
Radio back into my friends here at HQ. Hey guys.
Go for HQ.
Hey, so I did a little bit of digging, and yeah, they know
The Yavin here is
probably
prepared to meet with you now, commanders.
where you are, and they are
If
looking
you'd like
for
to
you
come with
actively.
us- if you'd like to come with me, I'll
So
bring
whatever
up to his
you
office
do,
and-
if someone tries to separate you two or bring
Please.
you to somewhere else, don't
Let's,
follow them.
Let's go.
I would leave immediately.
Are you? Is something wrong?
I'm on the way.
Says
If you
stepping
can
into the room.
delay, maybe.
Excuse me. Is something wrong?
It sucks that Scott is like quieter than you are.
Hello.
God.
I'm on the way back, but I'm not hearing anything.
Yadis, shut up.
Ophios's eyes, and he's just like trying to focus to listen to Yondis and also like pay attention to the other thing while he's like looking down at her notepad, and he's just like, 1 second.
Is there something wrong? Perhaps you need some.
Hey, are you guys
tea.
okay?
You need some more of the tea to help alleviate your mind. It's supposed to clear your mind for you.
Someone's talking to us. She'll say to Yadis.
Oh, to me. Okay.
Yeah,
Not
to
the guy
Yadis.
who
No,
walked
to
in.
you. I'm saying
Hold
that
on,
to you.
someone's
in my
talking to me.
brain.
Could you
Someone is
please repeat what you were
talking to
saying?
me.
Yovan here is ready to meet with us.
Immediately, yes.
Very well.
Um,
Am I going to
Ice
him
get
or is he
really
coming
orange.
here?
he's not going to come here. He's going to have you meet with him in his office, of course.
Ah. All right.
He as you kind of stand up, he looks at you and says, "Commander, please don't think I'm stepping out of line, but are you okay?"
What would you think is wrong? I'm completely fine.
The two of you just seemed a bit off. Were you waiting for too long? He kind of like looks behind him and looks back and says, "Do you need something to help perk you up for the meeting. I wouldn't want to see things go poorly for you.
No.
They won't go poorly.
Oh, he nods and says, "Of course they won't. Of course. My apologies, commanders." And does a little bit of a bow and then says, "Come with me. I'll bring you." I know, mind you, I want to be clear for the two of you. That was over an hour that you were waiting there, and you were relaxing for over an hour.
Ah, I
Almost-
see.
Almost
Like,
resting for a
Catch your
rest.
drift. Yeah, I see.
That's nice.
Nice.
Are you guys still there? Hello?
Yondis, will you please shut up? You hear from Ophius. You heard everything that he said to this lady at the same time. He was trying to send it to both of you.
Oh, okay.
So
That's
as he
what
was
he
saying
did.
it out loud, you were hearing what he was
Oh,
saying.
Did you
that's
say
why
no
he
to
was.
drugs?
That's why he repeated stuff.
He was probably doing what Ophios usually doesn't
I have an
do.
addiction problem, Giannis. How
Thinking
dare you,
before he
first of all?
speaks.
Just kidding.
You know what I mean? He's probably thinking before he spoke.
Yep. Sure.
Yeah, but not to me unless he said
No,
to
he
me.
purposefully
Yes.
was. That's why
Gotcha.
he
No, I gotcha,
repeated what he said. What the person said to him, like the prince is ready to meet with us. Yeah, he wouldn't have repeated himself if he wasn't saying it also to you.
Hi, Fallon.
Gotcha. Okay. Jimmy?
Yep, Jimmy Fallon.
Which was also why is he meeting us here or are we in his office? And so you could be able to gauge a lot of that information from.
Okay, well, I'll meet you there.
So you guys are obviously going to start heading upstairs. It's just a short distance upstairs to the meeting. Messy, at which pace are you going to try to return to them?
How far am I?
Considerable.
Once more with feeling.
Well, considering I just went and asked a lot of questions about two people that were supposed to be detained that had snuck away, I don't want to look like I'm in a hurry. So I'm just going to be walking at a noble's pace, which is really slow.
Swinging like what is it? I was gonna say like swinging a pocket watch on a chain or something like that. Like
I thought you were going to say a cane.
twirling a cane on your finger. All right.
Chicken finger, do yourself.
I do want to be clear. Again, over an hour has passed, so anything that you guys would have had on yourselves obviously has run off. But make your way upstairs.
Yeah, I would have re-upped my disguised self probably like when we were alone and isolated.
Of course. I imagine you do it again about 45 minutes later, and then right before you leave the room, as they turn to leave, you just kind of sit there and concentrate for a moment and get your disguised self back on. So it's going to last at least another hour of cleanness, you know? And you start making your way upstairs. Again, large stairwell. Everything's ornate. Led to his office. The door to his office, the doorway to his office is very ornate because this used to be a Yovant's home here. So it's all, again, very grandiose. When the door finally opens, like a knock-knock and the opening of the door for the two of you, the room that you look into looks like it probably was not originally meant to be an office. Looks like, honestly, with how large it is, it looks like it could have originally been maybe a small ballroom. Like, it's absolutely massive. And inside this room, a good distance from where you are, almost like you're stepping into a throne room, right? A good distance from where you are, there's actually a desk that he is sitting at. But on the left side and on the right side, between here and there are many different bits of artwork that are there. From various suits of armor that have clearly seen their time of battle, or that were just finely crafted to be there as a decoration, or at least ended up that way, right?
Right.
Various other trophies, like almost like pedestals put there with various other trophies you can see sitting about. The significance of them you wouldn't really know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, along this room. This room, of course, the walls themselves carved out of a different type of stone. It has a bit more of a color to it, so it has like a really cool kind of like coloration pattern to it, many different colors, blah, 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 blah. Almost if you think of like a man-made quartz counter, like it has a bunch of different colors in it, like sparkling and whatnot as part of it. It makes the whole room seem very grand, large, and almost heavy, like intimidating. So again, a good distance from where you are, and I mean by good distance, I mean like 25 feet from the door that you guys walk in. And think about that. Inside, 25 feet is a huge distance. Outside, that's
is
nothing, right?
massive. Yeah.
So is where his desk is, which is about 10 feet behind them, is where their actual behind wall would be. The chamber itself has 4, I repeat, 4 fireplaces inside of it. 2 on the left wall, 2 on the right wall. 4 fireplaces inside of it to make sure that it's kept nice and warm inside of it. But there's not like fireplaces, a bunch of chairs sitting around. Like you can imagine if it actually was like a ballroom, right? Nothing like that at all. Just large, no fires inside any of the fireplaces. Instead, because it's still daytime and the roof to the building itself has a bit of like a dome to it with a whole bunch of glass along the cylindrical wall part of the dome. Ton of light coming in from there. And that's kind of seems to be where it's pouring in from. If there's maybe a little bit of magical aid to add to this room, that to enhance the light a little bit, maybe, because it does seem pretty well lit considering that's its light source. But it's also a really large dome with a lot of windows up there. So, anyways, the door opens up. Only he is inside the chamber, sitting across the way. So, to describe Haven Yovance, let me actually just look something up really quickly.
I have an important question for this moment. The cuffs that hinder Loper magic, do they look like cuffs or do they look like fancy, like bracers?
It actually just looks like it, because remember they don't clip. It uses almost like a magnetic force to put them together. So it actually just looks like a single bracelet, like an iron band bracelet. Do you know what a bangle is?
No. I know what a Bengal tiger is.
No, like a bangle, like a lady's bracelet that's like a hard formed bracelet. So, have you ever seen
so it looks like that. It's the ones they slide
shut.
on.
Yeah,
and
or clamp shut. Yeah. Like what's that super popular brand out of Warwick, Rhode Island? That was like insanely popular for a while. Has like a charm on it. All the girls had them for like forever.
Okay, this is important
Slap
for how
bracelet.
we do this.
I can't remember what they're called. Anyways,
What charm bracelets?
Yeah, it's like a charm bracelet that was like super popular out of Warwick. It's made out of like more or less trash and plating of like silver. God, they all turned like. Anyways, not Pandora.
Like Pandora?
No.
Oh.
No, Pandora's a different brand. That's like a big company. What is it called? I'll have to Google it afterwards. But for now, back to you.
Oh, the metal ones that like the square ones?
Yeah,
You're talking about?
Yeah, I have to look it
They're
up.
like square.
They're
I
like
know exactly what you're talking about.
super popular. At least in this area, they were. I don't know what elsewhere. Anyways, so or like if you think of like a jade bracelet, that's super common inside like China. Young girls, like in their teenage years, will get like a jade bracelet, and as they get older, their hands get so big, because you get older. As you get older, your hands grow up. So when they're young enough, they could slide their hand into it. But then as they get older, the jade bracelet can't come off because as they grew, it stayed on them, and so it's kind of like that.
I heard
Why are
that.
you stomping?
So scary.
I heard that.
Oh,
Yeah, me too.
Remember the company?
Yeah,
Oh.
me too.
Alex and Ani. She wanted me
Oh,
to.
she's like, I texted you, you ding dong.
Alex and Ani is what it was.
Oh, I have one of those.
Alex and Ani. That's what it's called.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. They're still around.
That's what she's trying to tell me. Yeah,
Scott, I really have to pee, so
yeah. We'll take a break in just 1 second so you can pee.
Okay.
So it's like that. So it's like a hard thing, but it shouldn't be able to come off easily. But because it's magic, it can just like slide right off. It looks like it should just be stuck there. So it's like a bangle that's big enough to rattle around on your wrist, but small enough it couldn't easily come off your hand. If it wasn't for the fact that again, it's magical, so you can easily just kind of remove it from your hand and throw it. And you have 2 of them. Don't forget.
Yeah.
So I believe you wear them both on one arm.
I totally I have an idea for that.
Cool.
So.
Well, he is requesting to go pee before we actually have the first encounter, actual meeting, eyes on and everything of Haven Yovance, the Yavin here. So why don't we allow it to happen? Bye bye. TT.
See you in a bit.
TTF by. It's TTFN.
I don't know.